to talk to you about how we can train every member of our church, every member of your team to share their faith in natural ways. We're filming today in Colorado, and I live here in Colorado. One of my favorite things to do is to go riding on my mountain bike and getting out on trails. I love it. And let's say I wanted to train you, equip you to get out and do mountain biking with me. In fact, we're going to go tomorrow morning at 8. But don't worry, I'm going to get you ready by giving you a couple really good talks on how to do your mountain biking, how to pedal, how to, climb the steep hills, how to ride the trails around the sheer cliffs, how to go fast enough to outrun our black bears. It's going to be great. How do you feel about that? I'm guessing you're going, mountain biking might be exciting, but can we slow down a little bit? I need more than just a good bike and a good talk. I need some training. I need to ease into this a little bit. And I couldn't agree more. Any new skill you're going to learn, you need not just motivation, not just information, not just a good talk. You need training. And if you think about it, training always involves trying. So whether it's mountain biking or skiing down our slopes or, whatever it is, roller skating. I mean, you got to learn how to stand up first. You got to learn, in the case of the bike, how to ride it and how to stay balanced and, things you need to do to stay safe out there. And that involves training, and training always involves trying. And now let me shift from mountain bikes to evangelism. One of the challenges and one of the problems, frankly, that I think we have in our church circles is sometimes we think if I give a really good talk and quote some really good Bible verses, people are going to catch it and then run out and do it. And it doesn't usually work that way. They're going, could we ease into this a little bit? I need some training. And training in evangelism always involves trying. And so that's why I want to resurrect something that's kind of become old school in the church. It used to be popular. I know because I helped write and develop some of the training a few years back. And a lot of churches were doing it regularly, equipping their people, whether it was in seminar formats or small groups, Sunday school classes, and sometimes church-wide. But training was kind of popular, and then it kind of fell out of style. Well, I don't care if it's in style or not. 1 Peter 3:15 says we need to be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks for the reason for our hope in Christ. And the only way I know to help people really become prepared is with training. And so that's why I've written my book, Contagious Faith, and the training course called Contagious Faith, to provide tools to help people in two main areas. I think a lot of us and a lot of the people we lead, they're afraid of evangelism for two main reasons. The first is they say, it's just not me. I don't see how I could do this. And you say I could do it naturally. It never feels natural to me. Well, what we do is show ways that it could be natural for you. And specifically, what we show is that in the Bible, they didn't all do evangelism the same way. They found natural approaches, or what I call contagious faith styles, a natural approach that fits them. And that's what we teach. We say, maybe you're more like Peter, that's more the stereotypical, you're more direct, you're hard-hitting, you want to just get to the point and present truth. And that's often what people think of when they think of evangelism. By the way, that's not me, but it might be you, and it's a good one. I mean, for some of us, we're Peters, and that's great. Others of us are going, I'm no Peter, but I'm more like Paul. I like to answer questions. I like to give reasons and evidence. Well, that's me. I love Christian apologetics. I love to reason with people. I love to talk to skeptics that are curious spiritually. That may be you. Or maybe you're more testimonial. You like to talk about your story. That's my buddy Lee Strobel. He loves to talk about when he was an atheist, when he was a newspaper reporter, and how he went through a journey. That might be more like you. You tell your story. Or maybe you're more relational, more like Matthew, the tax collector who became the disciple of Jesus. It says in Luke 5:29, he had a big banquet or a party in his house. to mix things up relationally. Maybe that's you. You like to have a cup of coffee or a piece of pie with a neighbor or a friend, hang out at a pizza place or whatever. And through relationships, you warm up the friendship and the conversation. And through that, you can bring up spiritual topics. Talk to them about your faith. Maybe you're more like the woman who, in Acts 9, a woman named Tabitha. Maybe you're more serving oriented and you serve people in ways that make them go, there must be a loving God. Look how this person serves me. Those are some of the examples that we teach through this training. And I think it'll unleash people. I've seen this for many years, and I expect to see a lot more of it through this new training, where people go, okay, I'm not a preacher, I'm not an evangelist, but I do know how to help people with things that they need help with, and I'll serve. Or I know how to invite them over to the house and make a meal, and I have pretty good barbecue and a pretty good recipe there, and I'll do that and build friendships, or I'll answer questions, or I'll teach, or I'll speak, or I'll sometimes maybe I'll challenge them. Well, those are different approaches, and I think we can all find niches that we can grow in. The other thing that holds a lot of people back is they say, I just don't feel ready. I wouldn't know what to say. I wouldn't know how to answer a question. Well, that's why what I do is teach key skills. Like, how do you start a spiritual conversation? How do you take a beautiful sunset and move from that to talking about the artist who designed it and painted that because he loves us? Or you talk about some sporting event, but you talk about one of the players who found Christ and whose life has been transformed. How do you do that? Well, we teach you those skills. How do you share your testimony? We teach you those skills. How do you share the gospel? We give you a bunch of illustrations. So I think that kind of training helps people to do two things. One, see that they can take approaches that fit them, that are natural. And two, builds their confidence because they've tried, they've practiced some of these key skills, how to start conversations, how to share their story, how to share the gospel, and so forth. So I just want to end with a challenge, and that is, with this kind of training, we need to make a goal of training 100% of our people. And that takes ongoing efforts, encouraging small groups regularly to do this training, or seminars where you say every other month we're going to do this until 100% of us have been trained. Of course, there's always new people coming in that need training. And a lot of people I find want to go through it again and again, and they just keep getting better and better at it. But if you'll take this approach and you'll train your people, I'm telling you, it's going to unleash them. And all of a sudden, you're going to find people, who didn't ever think of themselves as an evangelist. They're going to start taking risks for the gospel, leading people to faith. And then some of those people are going to start leading people to faith. And we're going to have a contagious epidemic on our hands, and it's going to be wonderful. So get out there, train your folks, and watch how God will work.